Hello and welcome to Taking Care of Business. I'm Lori Higgins, the president of the Metro North Chamber of Commerce. The Metro North Chamber is a business organization dedicated to serving the businesses of Anoka County. We do that through providing education, networking, advertising, and advocacy opportunities for our members. Taking Care of Business is one way in which we get to highlight some of our members, and today we'll be talking about the Mercy and Unity Hospitals Foundation as well as Gould's Jewelry. How these two businesses are combined we'll talk about in just a minute. But first we're going to learn more about Mercy and Unity Hospitals. My guest this morning is Andrea Melbrick Thompson, who is with the foundation. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you so much for having me, Lori. It's great to be here.
Thank you. You're welcome. Excited to learn more about Mercy and Unity as well as the foundation, which we'll talk about specifically in a few minutes. But can you first give us a little bit of history about Mercy and Unity for those who might not know?
Absolutely. So I think anyone who lives here in the Northwest metro area realizes that if you're going to go to the hospital, you're going to come to Mercy or you're going to come to Unity.
Yep.
Or you're driving downtown and parking in a ramp, which is something I think we'd all like to avoid, and we want to stay close to home. Our two hospitals came about independent of each other. That was certainly before the time of healthcare systems like Allina Health.
Okay.
And so in the 60s, the mid-60s, the area of Fridley decided they needed a hospital. There was a woman in our community who still visits our hospital whose son had a tonsillectomy, and he had some bleeding afterwards, and she needed to rush him back downtown to get to the hospital, and it could have been a tragedy. She made it in time. Her son is just fine, a grown adult today, but what she discovered is we need a hospital here. And so she campaigned with her area communities and got together a hospital district and was able to create Unity in Fridley. And what they decided and how they got the name was they took community and saw unity within it.
Really?
And thus the name was born.
I did not know that. Very interesting.
Interesting fact, too, is that right when it was about to open was when the Fridley tornado hit.
Oh, wow.
So there was damage to their new facilities, and they had to fix it before they could open.
Huh, my goodness. Well, I think anybody who grew up in this area grew up knowing Mercy and Unity, and I grew up thinking that everybody had a hospital that they could walk to. So, so we're very fortunate up here. And I think sometimes we take it for granted that we have these two hospitals so close together to serve Anoka County residents. Now, they also have an economic impact to this area as well in terms of the jobs that they provide. Can you speak to that?
I can definitely speak to that on some level, but I want to tell you about something that's happening within our hospital and the county, which will give us better data on that.
Okay.
I can tell you that Unity Hospital employs about 1,200 people, and Mercy Hospital employs over 2,000 people as well. So that's quite an impact on number of employees, and I will tell you that I'm an employee there and I live here in this community, and that's very true of many of our staff, and there's a lot of longevity in staff. I can tell you that the expense or the operating budgets of the hospitals are $500 million.
My goodness.
We would love to tell you more, and I'm happy to report and delighted to report it's a good thing for our community, it's a good thing for the chamber, is that as we speak, the U of M Extension Group is doing an economic impact study on the two hospitals that's being funded by Anoka County and some communities in our area, because we do need to know more about what is the overall scope of what we're doing for Anoka County and our communities.
Absolutely. That's important. I'm looking forward to getting that data
I
once
am
it's available.
too. I am too. I know it's been something people amongst the chamber have been talking about.
Right, absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit about the patients that these hospitals serve.
So we had over 12,000 inpatient visits at Unity Hospital last year. We had over 22,000 patient visits at Mercy Hospital inpatient. Our patients are everybody here in the North Metro. That's who we're serving. That's who we're here for. There were over 1,000 babies born at Unity Hospital, new life coming into our community, and over 2,000 babies born at Mercy Hospital. This is certainly the hospitals that moms are coming to have their babies. It's the places we're coming when we need our appendix out. As we age, it's the places we're coming to get our hips replaced. As we get older, we have special services for our elders in our community as well. So we're really serving all ages and all stages of life.
I guess so. Now, have there been any specific new services introduced in the past couple of years that you would like to talk about?
Well, I just touched base on our elders in our community. One thing we have at Unity that we're very, very proud of is our ACE unit, and it's acute care for our elders. That unit is designed for people over the age of 70 who end up in the hospital for, they come in probably through the emergency room. And what we know is that there's a high rate of dementia in older adults when they come into unusual settings like a hospital. It comes on because of being in the hospital. We want those individuals to go back home. We don't want to send them to a transitional care unit. We don't want to send them to a nursing home. If they came from their home, we want them to go back to their home.
Sure.
So we are the only hospital in Minnesota that has this special kind of unit that works in a way that we're making that happen. So the patients in that unit get rehab during the day that's specific to their needs and being in our aging population. They're encouraged to eat together so they're not just sitting in their hospital room. We want to get them back home, and we're getting really great patient satisfaction rates from that. That's of course just one thing. Probably need to touch on something at Mercy as well, so we cover our hospitals equally. You know, Mercy has upgraded their joint replacement services in this past year. And I can say that both of our hospitals are featured in the most recent U.S. News and World Reports issue that talks about healthcare, and our hospitals are ranking very well and high in our level of care in our metro area, and Mercy even has placement nationally.
Wow. You know, I find it really amazing what hospitals provide these days. In my head, you think about just your broken bones or an emergency visit, you know, something that happens to you that you're not expecting, but it really is a fuller range of services that you provide, from, like you said, from babies to elderly, and it's more than just broken bones these days, isn't it?
It is. Well, and Mercy is very well known and the place to be if you need cardiac care or cardiovascular care. You don't need to go to Abbott, you don't need to go to United, you don't need to go to the U of M. You can stay right here in our community, and we joke about not having a parking ramp, but it's the truth. And the person who cares for you might very well be your neighbor.
Wow. Well, I think we're very fortunate to learn more about Mercy and Unity, because I think we do take them for granted a little bit, because they are right here in our backyard and we can just drive up to them when we need them. So I'm excited to get our viewers more information about Mercy and Unity. Now, the foundation also plays a role, a very important role, in Mercy and Unity hospitals. And so what we're going to do is take a quick commercial break and then come back and talk more about your role and what the foundation does to support the hospitals. So stay tuned, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Begin transmission of North Metro TV Channel 15. With local professionally produced shows, Channel 15 is unlike any other station on cable TV.
With exclusive interviews and stories, North Metro TV News covers the issues that matter in the community. New episodes premiere Fridays at 6:30 p.m.
High school sports highlights and a recap of your teams, Blaine, Centennial, and Spring Lake Park. Watch Sports Den. New episodes each Wednesday, live at 6 p.m.
Watch Inside Entertainment to find out which movies you'll want to check out at the theater.
Yeah, Ronnie to the 10, 5, touchdown Cougars!
Educational and informative programming focused on local events created to inform our communities on issues regarding public safety.
NMTV can also be watched anywhere in the world, live, on the web, and on demand at northmetrotv.com.
Change the channel. Change the channel. Make a sound. Share the echo.
Share the echo and show the world your face. It is your right to seek.
It is your right to receive. It is your right to impart.
The doors of public distribution are constantly changing.
It is our duty to bar those doors from closing.
We will not let our voices be silenced through legislation, through commodification, through the lumbering giants pulling the plug. I believe in public access.
I believe in public access. Stay tuned.
So welcome back. We're talking to Andrea Melberg-Thompson from the Mercy and Unity Hospitals Foundation. So Andrea, now that we have just a little bit of background information on Mercy and Unity, I know we could spend the whole show talking about them and what they offer, but I do want to talk about the foundation, because that's an important piece to this. And so please tell us a little bit more about what the foundation does.
So foundation means fundraising. It means philanthropy. It means asking people for gifts. I think we all forget that when we come to our hospitals, when we have our babies there, when we're coming there to get a stent placed in our heart, when we come to the emergency room, we send you a bill afterwards.
Right. And we don't forget that.
And no, I don't forget it either. I have, my children were born there. I've visited the ER for some minor mishaps, and I'm just fine. But yes, I got the bill just like everybody else. And so it's interesting for us to correlate or make our community aware that we also do need to fundraise. So what can we do in our community to provide greater services because we have fundraising? What can we do to enhance our hospitals after the bills are paid and our hospitals want or need more things to make your care better? So we at the foundation do that. We ask people in our community for money. We ask businesses in our community for money. We ask our employees for money. It's our job to take in funds and then distribute them to the hospital to make them better places and to also help promote community health.
So then it's fair to say that if you want a new service or enhancement to one of the hospitals, you can't just go down to the Capitol, ask for the money to foot the bill, and then do it. It doesn't work that way.
I won't say that people aren't out campaigning with the government to get more money or bonds or et cetera, but it doesn't work like that. You don't get everything paid for by our taxes. That's not going to happen. And I won't say that your bills don't help to bring us more services. It does. But for all the money that Allina Health is ponying up to bring new things to our communities, our own community, our own people, our own individuals can enhance that and add to that and make it better, make it be more of a partnership.
Okay. So then give us some examples as to how that money is used. What sort of projects has the foundation worked on before and funded?
So some things in this past year or things going forward. Over at Unity Hospital, we have a cancer wing, or I should call it the oncology area. So there's an oncology family waiting room. That waiting room is outdated. Okay. Our families deserve better when they need to have a conference with the doctor about their loved one's needs or when they need to take a break from the physical patient room. Okay, we need to do more for them. But you know what, we're not going to walk over to the legislator and say, will you pay to upgrade our family waiting room? And Allina as a whole is looking at their whole system, and somebody else's waiting room is probably even worse than ours, right? And so we're looking to our foundation to say, all right, you know what, we can provide the money. We're going to update that. We're going to get new furniture. We're going to upgrade the walls. We're going to upgrade the artwork. We're going to add a refrigerator because our patients and our community deserves that. So that's a small example. Maybe a little bit larger example is on our Unity campus, we have an education building. So that gets used not only for education for our patients, for our staff, for other people in Allina, but our services like fire departments, police departments, things among the community also use that room for education services.
Right. The chamber held a meeting there actually not too long ago. It's a fabulous room.
Yeah, it is a nice room, nice kitchen, the best AV equipment you could want, you know, very nice things. And as you see capital projects going forward or in the past, the foundation is playing some role in that too.
Well, and speaking of the word capital, we are starting to hear about an actual capital campaign that has been launched. So can you speak to what that endeavor is?
I can definitely speak to that.
Super.
So what we're hearing about primarily in our Northwest Metro is a need for an upgrade in our mother-baby services, enhancements. We know that when women have babies and their families, they're going to want choices, and they're going to want to know that their baby is in a safe environment, and they are too, with the best possible healthcare services. So at Mercy Hospital, what you're going to see is an entirely new wing, an addition, build out will occur, and that hasn't happened a long time at Mercy or Unity Hospital. And what we're going to do is have a collaboration with Children's Hospital so that our nursery can provide a higher level of care than it does right now in partnership with Children's, like what they currently have at Abbott Hospital. It's also going to basically upgrade all the digs at both hospitals. And I say that lightly because when people come to have babies, they like a place for their significant other to be able to sleep or stay.
Absolutely.
That's comfortable. And we deserve to provide that for them. So it's not just about health care and having the best doctors and the best facilities. It's also about our comfort levels for our community. For an individual like me who had no hardship in their birth. At Unity Hospital, we currently have water births. I believe we had our 25th water birth this week.
My goodness.
Word spreads
That's a whole
quickly.
nother conversation.
That this is the place to come if you want a water birth. Right now we're using a blow-up tub, and actually that's not problematic. It's very sanitary. It's very easy for the doctors to use. But we will be adding some fixed tubs, and we will most likely be changing those birthing rooms into a room where you not only birth, but then you stay afterwards. So currently at Unity and Mercy, you're moving from one room to the other before and after birth.
So would you say that some of these projects are adding things that are almost becoming expected these days? Because I would think that having your significant other in the room would be expected. That's not a luxury. That's
and I won't say that your significant other doesn't get to stay now.
Sure.
They do. So don't not come to us because of that, or you're waiting for the new construction. I want to say we want it to be the poshest place in town.
Got it.
Right?
Okay.
We want to provide the comfort level that you
Right.
might see at other facilities that aren't within our easy driving distance
I
that we
see.
currently have.
Okay, wonderful. Now, how long will the capital campaign go on?
Our capital campaign will be a 3-year campaign for Mercy and Unity Hospital. One of the things that we'll be touch on in the primary funding will be for our Mother-Baby Northwest strategy, but it's also going to do things like bring a hybrid or upgraded OR multi-purpose operating room to Mercy Hospital, which we don't currently have. There's going to be some changes to our entrance of Mercy Hospital. You're going to see an embracing or a change in, or more funding for our cancer care, and also for our community wellness as a whole. So when we talk about that 3-year campaign, what we'd like to raise is $5 or more million, and I know that we can do it. When we talk about overall investment, I would like to say that when we think about what our community is going to provide, I think our community can provide this. On the same note, the overall project and the cost to Allina is $70 million.
Oh, wow.
So we need the community to realize we're asking all of us to step up to the plate. Allina as a corporation or as a healthcare facility is putting in their due course too. But they're asking us to look at our communities and say, help us out here, help take some of the burden off our shoulders.
Right. And so if the public did want to contribute or get involved somehow, what's the best course for them to do so?
So our foundation fundraises in a lot of ways, and I'm going to step a little bit outside the capital campaign. You see us having our events. Okay, so a lot of people have joined us at the Cristobal or donated to our silent auction or been a sponsor of the event or come to the event or volunteered. That is a fabulous event. It raised $295,000 to go towards the mother-baby services. So we're out raising money with events. Those are our public ways of saying, come help us out, be a part of our community, and enjoy an activity that's fun, okay? We have a golf tournament, the Golf Classic, which occurred earlier in July, and we have a women's golf event coming up. Called the Par and Pamper, which I know when we talk with Goulds, they'll be joining me, and we'll talk more about that. So that's one way we fundraise, is events. Those are our public ways. We also ask our patients after you've been with us, we're going to call you on the phone, we're going to send you mail, and we're going to say, can you give to us? I hope that you'll say yes. I hope your experience was good, and that you say, yes, I can give back $20, $100, $1,000.
And are people generally responsive to that?
The rates are on par with where you would see them at any other hospital in the country, and yes, people do give back, and that means something to us. So when you come to us and you get the letter later, send it back. You know, help us out, right? We ask our own staff. We have a community giving campaign, much like the United Way, and we're asking our staff, either give to the community you care about or give to the hospital you care about, and we're going to facilitate that via payroll deduction, things like that. And yes, our staff gives. We ask our physicians, we ask our practice groups, and we're now, because of the capital campaign, asking our community for larger chunks of money. We are going out to those individuals who have been served by the community and are serving our community and doing well financially to say, look beyond what you can write out of your checkbook right now and think overall, what is the more significant gift you could give us over 3 years?
Well, I can certainly see how when you have to raise $5 million, you need to be creative and find different ways to do so. So I commend you for all the different ways you're looking to raise those needed funds for those great enhancements. We're going to talk a little bit more about some of those events and projects that you work on, but we're going to take another commercial break and then bring back our representative from Gould's Jewelry and talk about the partnership that we have with them in all of this. So please stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment.
Come to Ham Lake and see how good life can be. Conveniently located only 20 miles north of the Twin Cities on Highway 65, yet Ham Lake has kept its rural charm. Residents of Ham Lake enjoy 1-acre minimum lots, giving you space to live with abundant natural green spaces and recreational activities like boating, fishing, golf, disc golf, camping and playgrounds, and tons of seasonal fun all year round. Ham Lake is home to one of the top school districts with consistent high scores in standardized testing and community ratings. Ham Lake is a business-friendly city and willing to work with businesses and developers of all sizes. Whether you are just starting out or looking to grow, Ham Lake has the business opportunities you've been waiting for. Life in Ham Lake moves a little slower, and that's the way we like it. Ham Lake offers space to live, to grow, and space to relax. Come visit Ham Lake and see for yourself what you are missing. Ham Lake is convenient country living.
Change the channel. Change the channel. Make a sound. Share the echo.
The echo and show the world your face. It is your right to seek.
It is your right to receive. It is your right to impart.
The doors of public distribution are constantly changing.
It is our duty to bar those doors from closing.
We will not let our voices be silenced through legislation, through commodification, through the lumbering giants pulling the plug. I believe in public access.
I believe in public access. Stay tuned.
So I'm very excited for the last segment of our show today because we're going to be talking with Saria Lynch of Gould's Jewelry. Welcome, Saria.
Thank you.
So now, why do we have a jewelry store up here after we just talked about Mercy and Unity Hospitals? How does that relate? So can you answer that question for us?
Well, we have been blessed this year to be able to take on the role of Par and Pamper's host for their 13th annual Par and Pamper Golf Tournament.
Okay.
What we are doing is we're basically just taking the back end of the golf tournament, the emails, sponsorship letters, things like that, contacts, day of, events, and being able to take some of the workload off of Mercy and Unity Foundation and facilitate that event. And so we are here based on that.
And so that is the tournament on September 11th?
September 9th.
September 9th, okay.
For women.
For women
women.
at Majestic Oaks.
And if they want more information on Par and Pamper, what's the best way for someone to reach out?
They can either email me at saria@gouldsjewelry.com or they can go to the Mercy Unity Foundation website.
Okay, perfect. Now, let's take a step back for a second. Why did Gould's decide to get involved in the hospitals to begin with?
You know, when Frank was around, he was very good at community, being part of the community and really supporting the things and the people that he cared about, and he was very active in Mercy and Unity Foundation.
Okay.
Crystal Ball, Par and Pamper, sponsorships, that all of those kinds of things, along with many other community activities.
Right. You're very involved in community activities. Your philanthropic outreach is phenomenal, in my opinion, for Gould's Jewelry.
Well, thank you. You know, I'm lucky enough to have Cynthia Gould as my boss, and she has really made it my role to help bring the name of Gould's and be out there in the community and support and sponsor different things, but not just the funds and that aspect of it, but be able to really give time, efforts, and energy, because people need that. I mean, people can write a check every day, but if you don't have the people to run the events or get the life or the energy into it, it's not exciting. And so my goal this year with Par and Pamper is really to bring some new pizzazz, some new energy and excitement to an event that has already been wonderful, and just continue to hopefully build this golf tournament into something successful for us ladies. We need it too. It's just not about men.
Absolutely. Well, that sounds fantastic. I do want to take a couple minutes, though, and talk some more about Gould's Jewelry, because we've got these lovely samples here. And first of all, where is Gould's Jewelry, for those who might not know?
Gould's Diamonds and Jewelry is on 7th and Main. It is the big new building that was built about 5 years ago. It looks like a train depot.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you. Frank and Cynthia built it and designed it around their original store, which was up in Two Harbors.
Okay.
And it looks like a train depot. It's across the street from Hardee's on 7th and Main, and it's definitely more than a jewelry store.
And so what sets you apart? What makes you more than a jewelry store?
Well, if you see the variety of stuff that we have up here, not only do we have jewelry, which we do both custom design in-house, we do all in-house services and repairs, but we also have the Camellia Charm Bracelet line. We have every type of jewelry you can imagine, along with many types of giftware and a lot of watch lines for men and women. And I think most jewelry stores are just jewelry, and they have here's what you get, and we definitely make sure that we go above and beyond that.
Well, and walking into your store is quite the experience. There's so much to look at. It's just amazing. It's gorgeous, first of all.
As I get to work with Gould's, I'm coming in somewhat regularly, and the ladies always know that I'm just going to stop and gaze for a while, and they just need to let me look about because everything's beautiful and sparkly, and I'd love to take some of it home.
Well, with a 10,000 square foot store, it definitely is filled with nothing but glitz and sparkle. And you know, our goal there and mission there, the employees have been there 8, 10, 20 years. I mean, the employees have stayed, and I think that comes from the service we can provide, the commitment to community and to employee satisfaction, and everything that we do combined as a whole. We're a team. And that's our mission, is to really make sure that that is seen throughout the community.
And I think that definitely reflects, I think, when you have a team like that. You can tell the minute you walk in the store as a customer when you're at an event, you know, as to how that is all connected and the importance of that. It really reflects well in the store.
Thank you.
So, well, in the time that we have remaining, do you have a piece or two that you'd like to highlight so we can learn a little bit more about what we have here?
You know, I think one of the best things, I mean, everybody has different bridle lines. We have 3 signature bridle lines, which is some of our pieces here. And then we have a variety of men's watches. And I think being that we have such a large variety of watches, it's nice because you can come in and you can find everything from a lower end item to a higher end item. And it's great because we have something for everybody, including golf watches, which the pin stem is on the opposite side. And so when you're golfing, it doesn't cut you open.
Okay.
And then giftware, and then the Camellia charm bracelet line. It's really personalizing your story. My story is definitely fun. I'm addicted to it, and and it's a great gift.
Multiplying.
They are multiplying.
And for those who don't know what that is, can you talk about how that works?
So basically what it is it's just a silver charm bracelet that you can purchase in any length to fit you. And then you pick out your charms as need be. You can pick out anything from, mine has a little boy shoe, a house, dice from when we went to Vegas with my girlfriends. We all got a die, you know, and then Katie's is just designed based on she likes the color, you know, something fun, something sparkly. Along with, if you have something that's been sitting in your jewelry box, take it out, come see me. Let's redesign it. Let's make it into something fun. This was something I just did that is, it was a 3-stone ring that I had just sitting in my house. And I pulled the stones out and redesigned it and made it into something that I actually want to wear.
That's excellent.
It's a fun process, and why not reuse what you have?
Absolutely. That sounds like a lot of fun. I wish I had a 3-stone ring sitting around my house that I could do that with, but not the case, not the case. So, well, wonderful. Well, thank you both for being my guest today. It was exciting to learn more about Mercy and Unity Hospitals, the foundation, and then how Gould's Jewelry fits into all of it. I know it was a lot of information packed into a very short amount of time, but hopefully people will go to each of your websites. And do you want to take another minute as to how people can reach both of your organizations?
You can call the foundation. You can call me at 763-236-3963 or go and look for us at Alina/MUHF. So Mercy Unity Hospital Foundation.
Excellent.
And you can visit us at 763-421-3205 if you have any questions, or you can visit gouldsjewelry.com, and we have a large website with all kinds of things, and any question you could ever need should be answered on that website.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both again for being my guest today, and thank you for watching another episode of Taking Care of Business.